We hear the phrase a football team is a family so much that honestly has kind of fallen into the category of just another sports cliche. But when you actually see it with your own eyes, it can still be very powerful. East Valley's Rodrick Jackson has a bright future in front of him. But that's only possible because of the family that he found in football. He's one of the most explosive players in the area.
Fires this one to Rodrick Jackson.
Dante Clayton hits Rodrick Jackson, and see you later. A football career headed far beyond East Valley, something he couldn't have possibly seen just a year ago.
It was really tough. I felt really isolated. My family life started getting a little tough, and me being young, I didn't quite understand what to do at the moment, so I started acting out and just trying to get away from the situation in which I was in.
With no family to care for him and no place to call home, Rodrick started looking for something that was missing.
Just hanging out with the wrong crowd and just doing the wrong things, the hard nights out, and sometimes not having a place to stay, and just the difficult situations I put myself in and the dangerous situations I put myself in.
Rodrick had dropped out of high school, the only thing in his life that really gave him any structure, and he was on the path to prison if he lived long enough to get there.
I was kind of at my wit's end with what I was doing, and I didn't have another place to stay, and I was just tired of trying to find places to stay and trying to find people to love me, and I just kind of broke down. And
lost, with nowhere to go, this 17-year-old dug deep, finding courage to do one of the hardest things any man can do.
I had to ask for help. It just took rock bottom for me to realize that there was nothing else I was going to be able to do with my life.
And he knew there was only one person he could turn to.
He just kind of treated me like I had never felt like I've been treated, with respect, and always lifting me up and just making sure that I'm on the right path.
Tucked into a small room in the lower hallways of East Valley, Rodrick Jackson sat down with head football coach Adam Fisher.
I mean, he full-on loses it, breaks down, and I was caught off guard.
An 18-minute conversation that would change both their lives.
I asked him for help. I just asked him for help with life, and I just asked him for help with support.
He loses it, I lose it. It was rather emotional. And I said, if you're serious, then I'll talk with my wife and we'll consider doing this. But there's going to be obviously some guidelines and stuff. And so I went home and told my wife, Jolene, I said, hon, I think we might be having somebody live at our house.
For the first time in his life, Rodrick was part of a family.
I never knew what it was like to have a father figure in your life for this long. Make sure that he stays to his word. He'd never given up on me as a player. And in a lot of suits, that made me feel like he'd never given up on me as a son.
With this new foundation beneath him, Rodrick was ready to go to work. But being a year behind in school with a GPA that barely registered meant this wasn't going to be an easy opponent to overcome.
That it seems impossible at first, and it seems hard, but you just have to gradually keep working towards what you know is right.
Before, there wasn't much of a light to even see graduation, to be honest with you. And now there is a light. It's going to be a little bit under different terms, but his story is different.
Last year, Rodrick finished with a 3.3 GPA, proving to himself that he has a lot more to offer than just his ability to catch touchdowns.
It's really rewarding. It makes me feel like I wasn't stupid. I could actually apply myself and see what kind of talent I have in my brain instead of in my legs or in my hands.
All it took was for someone to love Rodrick Jackson. Once his heart was full, the entire game was changed.
Literally everybody in the school has noticed a dramatic change in his body language, his demeanor, the way he conducts himself, how he communicates to people, his outlook on life. It beams out of him on a daily basis. That's more rewarding than anything he does on the field.
be able to have somebody come into your life and help you and bring you up and give you the pieces that you need to succeed. I mean, words couldn't describe the emotions that it makes me feel when I see that I'm loved the way I am.
Nadine, amazing compassion shown by Adam and Jolene Fisher, and of course their 2 daughters, letting someone into their life. Pretty cool when you can actually see the difference that they make. I mean, Rodrick refers to them as mom and dad, wants to refer to them as their son. They're part of a family now forever, and just because they were able to help, they saved his life, no question.
That's incredible. Another story to be told is the impact he's having on their family, on the Fishers too.
Without question. You could see that too, and you could see the pride that they took in talking about his grades and everything like that, so pretty awesome.
Great story, Keith.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we'll be sharing that on social media all over the place for those who haven't seen it yet.
And I have to thank Derek Smith, because he's my editor, my photographer. He takes what's in my head and just brings it to life, so pretty awesome. Glad to have him with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot, Keith, and we'll be right back.